Now, let's talk about Passengers. EK had some things to say before the show about it. The point about this movie is it's not the destination. No, wait. Doesn't matter where you're going. It's about the journey, not the destination. That's kind of the point of the movie. So basically what happens is this big ship of colonists, immigrants, is going from like Earth to another planet that they can habitate. And there's something like 5,000 passengers on the ship. Something like it was 800 crew or something. And there's a malfunction that happens on the ship. Everyone's asleep in like stasis. Everyone. All right? That should raise some red flags right there if you've ever been in the Navy. All right? All of a sudden there's an error and Chris Pratt's character gets woken up. And so he thinks he's about 2 weeks from arriving at this planet to start habitating it. But no one else is around. He keeps getting these briefings. We got this thing going on. And no one's around. And eventually he starts panicking, starts looking around the ship, ultimately finding out he's alone. He's the only one that's been woken up. And there's another, 200 years of the journey ahead of him. So his life is going to be spent on this ship. And he spends a year alone, trying to do what he can to get himself back into hibernation, and unable to do it, and he's reviewing people's logs and their interviews and stuff like that they did before. Apparently they did interviews and stuff like that, and all that data is there. So he's just browsing their internet, eating the crappy food because he's got the lowest steerage class. So he gets just a toast and a cup of coffee every morning, and that's it. It's terrible, And so for a year he's dealing with the fact that he's alone, and then he happens to see J-Law in a hibernation pod, and he's like, "Oh, I'm freaking lonely." And who can blame him? J-Law, I think she's cute as shit. I'm sorry. She's like an 8.5. She's not too super hot, but I think she's cute as shit. And I'll be honest with you, it'd be how long could you wait being alone without waking up J-Law, or just browse the 5,000 passengers and pick yourself a harem. You know what I mean? But he didn't do that. He just woke up one person, and that was Jennifer Lawrence's character. Doesn't tell her when he wakes her about what he's doing, because it's basically a death sentence by waking her up. But he's alone, and Larry Fishburne shows up later and he says that's a drowning man. Drowning man's going to reach out and try to drag someone with him. That's just the nature of it. And I guess I understand that logic, but I don't know. There's a serious competence crisis on this ship, first of all. All right, the fact that it even happened is a problem. There's no one on watch. I don't know if you know anything about ships, but there's always somebody on watch. And if you had I did the math, there's something like 800 some crew members. And over the course of the years of travel, it's something like 6 weeks. You can wake up one member of crew, stay awake for 6 weeks, just to make sure everything's still in working order and no problems arise. And then they go back in hibernation. Somebody else gets woken up. That's how you do a watch in a long-term journey like that. Because you can't just trust that the systems will not break down. It's as simple as that. The error happened that woke up Chris Pratt's character. And that started a series of problems. Even Chris Pratt is noticing that the little vacuum droids are screwing up, bumping into walls and stuff like that, and takes up a hobby of fixing them because there's nothing else for him to do. So there's a serious competence crisis going on this ship because everything's breaking. I think there's even a scene where they're at this food station place and just start spitting out food like crazy. All right? This place is falling apart. What?
Makes you wonder if it wasn't by design that things were going to flaw and he woke up.
Yeah. There's all sorts of theories you can come up with. The EK, we're talking about this too. Maybe the computer woke up the person who was capable of fixing it. Maybe. All right, but the point is that somebody should have been on watch. And second of all, if you're going to wake up somebody, wake up a crew member. It can be a hot crew member if you want, but there's 800 to choose from. Instead, you doom somebody just because you thought they were attractive. And that's kind of the moral quandary, I think, of the movie in many ways. Eventually, they start making, he makes a garden, and that wakes up a crew member for some reason. You plant a tree in there, and it disrupts the systems enough that it's, we got to wake up a crew member to deal with this tree growing. You know, because a tree growing over, you got to think about it. Like, it could be a serious problem on a ship. Finally, Larry Fishburne gets woken up, and he finds out what happened, and he's like, "How long were you alone? A year? Still, damn." Yeah, it's plus, if I were Chris Pratt, I would have blown myself out the airlock, because you don't know if there's going to be enough air for when everybody wakes up. There's got to be a limited supply of oxygen, right? I mean, I know there's a little bit of a garden there that he was able to mess with, but there's got to be a limited supply of oxygen, considering how much space needs to be filled up with air just for his ability to walk around there safely and be able to breathe. So maybe when everybody gets woken up, there's only like 3 hours of air left once all that more oxygen is being used. See what I'm saying? You could have just by staying alive, you could have been risking the lives of those 5,000 people on there. 5,000 plus people on there. Here's a weird thing in this movie. Whenever he throws something, it doesn't break. Whenever she throws something, it breaks. Watch it again and say, "Whoa, what's up with that?" Larry Fishburne was great. Because of all these errors, he's having like physical problems, and he dies. I think he was only there for like a week for shooting. But Larry Fishburne had one of the great last words in a movie, which was, "Ladies love the dress blues."
Good line.
It was a good line. So, Passengers 2016 movie, 10 of 13 stars. I would like to think I wouldn't have woken anybody up. I would like to think that instead I would watch everyone's all their video files, everything about them, learn everything about them, then record them as personal note from me saying, "Hey, I'm Chris Pratt, I'm real sexy and it's a real waste. And I'm all alone." Seriously though, I would write a personal message to people saying, "Hey, I was left alone here. I was watching your files. I think maybe you should patch things up with your dad. You know, it seems like you both could, eat a little bit of humble pie and get back together because family's important," stuff like that. Oh wait, he's dead now. Never mind. I would leave a personal message, and I'd say things like, "I'm the madman. I was woken up. It wasn't supposed to happen, but I'm just taking a look around. I have nothing else to do, and I wanted to say hi to every single one of you guys and say that I could have woken you up, but I didn't." I'd like to think that, but I don't know how long of staring at Jennifer Lawrence sleeping can grind on your loneliness. I don't know. Yeah, I'd wish them a happy life, and I didn't ruin anything. Like, unless I'm watching their video information and I think they're a dick, it's like, "Oh, you're kind of a dick. Yeah, maybe I should wake him up." And then oh wait, no, if I wake him up, I'm gonna have to deal with him. Yeah, but I mean, you could think about it. You could like start doing eugenics. Say if you have some crazy irrational hatred, you could say, you're out, wake up. Oh, bummer, all the people I don't like, they're all awake and you're not going to make it to the planet. I guess it's all only going to be nerdy guys who like comic books. It's like you killed all the farmers.
They're all dicks.
They're all going to die. Got plenty of computer engineers.